When you live in a small town, everyone knows where you've been and what you have done. I've been trying to leave this old town since I...
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zeta.
And I'm Kelly, and you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth. Okay, so for catching up this week, I had a girls' weekend without you.
I know, sad.
It was so weird.
Was it? Did y'all miss me?
We did.
Aw.
And particularly me driving.
Yeah.
Because once we get there, typically it's like, there's plenty of people to talk to. It was a very small group. There was only 4 of us this time.
Oh, that's nice.
And really, there was only Brandy and I the first night. It was just the 2 of us. We had an awesome time.
Yeah.
I fucking love Brandy.
good on quality time together.
I mean, we're a lot alike, Brandy and I. As far as communication, like we both talk a lot, but we don't care if you talk more than us. I don't know.
Yeah.
We get along really good. Anyway, so I'm on my way there, and I'm like, on the way, it's 2.5-hour drive to San Saba. So for new listeners, I do a girls' weekend at my family cabin in San Saba, Texas, which is in the hill country, and we talk about a lot. So the whole goal of this podcast, not the whole goal, but a big part of the podcast is our goal is to make sure that when you listen to us, you feel like how we feel in the cabin talking to our girlfriends. Like this is what a conversation should sound like in the cabin. And at one point this weekend, Friday night, when it was just Brandy and I, Brandy said, I feel like I'm on the podcast right now. This is literally what you do on the podcast. I was like, well, I base the podcast off us.
Is this play about us?
Yeah, I honestly, Cabin Talk might have been the best name ever because that's what we do. But so I'm on my way and I'm trying to listen to music. And usually when I go there, I'm like, I'm always in the country, but I listen to all kinds of music. But I associate country with San Saba because my mom and such. So I usually will listen to some Hank Sr., some Hank Jr., Miranda, whatever. No, I listened to the podcast. I went back. I was listening to old podcasts. One of them I listened to when we got our little... That was one of the episodes I listened to. That's me. That was the one, yeah. And it was the one we got the wrecking ball, like all that. I listened to 2 episodes on my way there. And all I could think was, this is close as I can get to Kelly going with me because you are always on that ride.
Yeah.
And I realized what a big part of the trip is you and I on the trip to go to the trip.
Yeah.
And on the trip home from the trip. Because on the way, we just talk about shit like we normally do. And on the way home, we talk about the trip.
We debrief.
We debrief. And so it's weird without you. It's a little lonely without you. It's a little faster because nothing's sidetracking me. So I'm just like booking ass, And so I had a wonderful time, but it was weird without you. And like I text Kelly in the middle of this. Oh, look who's here. We got a visitor real quick.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Look, hi, Terry. So all the listeners that have heard us talk about Terry is stopping by to say hello.
Actually came by to say happy birthday to the month-long birthday girl.
Oh, thank you.
Aw, happy birthday, month-long birthday girl. I turned the speaker up for it here so we could hear him for a second.
What?
But we hadn't gotten to her birthday yet. We're catching up. No, it's okay. They know. We've been talking about it for a month. So they do know it's her birthday. But, happy birthday to the birthday girl.
Thank you.
Happy birthday
Thank you very much.
for the whole month.
Well, she's only got a few days left. What is today, 26?
Yes.
Yep, 5 days left.
Yep.
That's,
Still got plenty to do. We're good.
yeah.
When's the last time you've been to Mikasa?
Me and her went for a lunch date.
Oh, yeah, we did. I'm sorry.
Going to offer you a lunch date.
Well, I'll still take it.
Let me know when you want to go.
Okay.
That's so funny. Terry, we talked about Terry on the podcast with Al one day, and I got 2 messages from listener, and they were like, "Is it the same Terry?" I was like, "Yes, we share the same friends." You're internet famous, Terry. What are you gonna do?
What can I say?
I don't know.
I'm turning red right now.
Yeah, no,
okay.
You're good. But thank you very much.
Anyway, happy birthday.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
See y'all later.
See you later. Okay, so I'm on the way and I'm like, okay, so this is weird without Kelly. I mean, I've been on a few trips without you occasionally. Like the last few months, you haven't gone as many times. But this one to me was the most one that hit home. I don't know why it was. I guess 'cause it's been months. I haven't been in months, you know? And I'm like, this is really weird. So I'm texting Kelly, I miss you. I wish you were here right now. I'm listening to us. Because I do listen to do you listen to our podcast ever? Not the current one. I know you listen to what just came out.
I have gone back to listen like from the beginning to kind of see how we've like progressed and everything. And
Yes.
so yeah, I have.
What I do is when somebody in the comments or in a message says, I remember when blah, blah, blah
Yeah.
on this episode, I'll listen to that
Yeah,
episode.
I'll go back and listen
because you know my ass forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have a jest, but you know.
What did we talk about?
Right. And so I was listening to it. I was like, this is cool. Like, this is cool. Anyway, so I get to the cabin. Right before I get there, Brandy's beat me by about 10 minutes. Right before I get there, and she texts me, and she's waiting at the gate because I have the key to unlock the gate to get into the property. And she was like, I'm just waiting here, and I'm pretty sure a chupacabra is in the yard. I see a chupacabra because I have never seen this creature before, and I don't know what it is. And so she takes a picture of it, or a video of it. I can't tell I'm driving. I'm like, whatever, you know. So I get there. She was like, there was a chupacabra in the yard. I know that's what I saw. If you're not from Texas, you probably have never heard of a chupacabra. I don't think that's a thing that's like nationwide. I think that's a Texas thing and a Mexico thing.
Texas, Mexico, yeah.
Okay, so Google chupacabra, figure out how the fuck to spell that
Yeah, good luck.
without me. But it is a made up.
Yeah, it's a mythical creature.
It's a mythical creature.
So it's supposed to be scary.
Yes. When I was growing up in Texas, my family often used it in scary stories around the campfire.
Yep.
And that and Goat Lady. You know, you've heard the stories.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I'm like, what? And she shows me the picture. It was one of the ringtails.
Oh.
Yeah.
So bastards of bats.
Assholes. They're really hard to see, though. They really do hide.
Yeah.
So it was shocking she really did see one, but she did. I saw the video. So we get into the cabin. I know.
I can't get over that.
We get it like set up. We get, we go turn the lights on. We get our shit unpacked, whatever. It's just the two of us. And we start talking as usual. And we start drinking because that's what we do on a girls' weekend. Mm-hmm. Erica, and it was Erica, Brandy, and Darla. And of course, my sister always pops in because she lives out there. And we made the agreement that for once I wasn't cooking, that we were there to write music and songs and practice, and we were not going to be cooking. And Erica wanted me to sit down.
How'd that go?
I mean, good, because we had no propane, apparently.
Oh, no.
Thank God, this is the one weekend we decided not to cook because I would have brought all these groceries and couldn't have done shit with them.
Yeah.
And so we brought cold cuts and that kind of shit. We just snacked all weekend. We had finger foods all weekend, which was wonderful. But we didn't even know that there was no propane because we weren't cooking until Saturday night. So Saturday night, I decided I want a hot bath because we had this claw-footed tub, and I keep Epsom salt there. And I'm like, it was after a long day. I'm like, I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to take a hot bath. I'm going to buy a glass of whiskey with me. I'm just going to relax. There's no hot water.
Oh, no.
So we didn't get any showers. We didn't cook anything. We did sing and play music, but did we get off track? Yes, we did. But it was just a really good, relaxing weekend. You can't get in the water yet.
Yeah.
I will say what was really weird is we went for a little walk down to check the water level. We go down the river. There's a boat down there. And it's like a fishing john boat. Mm-hmm. It's a step above a john boat, but it's a john boat. And it's got a motor on the back. It doesn't just have a prop motor. It's got a full motor on the back. But the motor is tilted up as if they had taken it out of the water on purpose, and the top of it's missing. They were fucking with it, basically. And it's got you can see a can of beer, a shirt laying in the boat. There's no person in the boat, but it's just sitting in the water. It's kind of marooned on the rocks right there, but it's still in the water. You can't tell the rocks are there, but I do know the rocks are there. Whose boat? How many times have you seen people back there? Once?
I've never seen anybody that wasn't like our group or Bonnie
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've
and
seen
her man.
Rick and I one time were there.
And like he's had a boat out there. Are you sure it wasn't his?
It wasn't his boat.
Oh.
And I took a picture of it and I sent it to Bonnie. I'm like, is this your man's boat? What's going on with this boat? No, it was not her. It was not his boat.
Oh.
So I'm like,
that's weird.
whose boat is this? Like, what is going on? You know? So I sent her the picture. She had no idea what the boat was either. The only thing I can think of is maybe someone had a boat problem and then it floated downstream and they haven't found it yet.
Maybe.
There's a mystery going on.
Somebody's in that water.
I don't, yeah.
Then you drag the river.
Maybe. I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know. So we did that, and other than that, it was just a real chill weekend. Erica and Darla didn't get there till like midday Saturday, so it was just Brandy and I. And then we go into town, right? Because Brandy doesn't check the weather, and she in her head decides it is going to be 75. It is not. And we have no propane, so we have no heater. Mm-hmm. It's cold the first night. It's like 40-something degrees outside. Zeta hadn't been there in 5 months and forgot she took all the sheets and shit home with her.
Oh, no.
So we did have one set of sheets and one like quilt, the quilt that's always on there. That was it. I took all the extra blankets, all the extra sheets. I totally forgot about it. Thank God I went. We froze our ass off the first night, and we could have started a fire. Did we? No, because we weren't cold till we went to bed. You know how it is. Once you're in bed, you're in bed.
Yeah.
Brandy and I both woke up all night long. She slept with me because she's scared because one time she thought she heard a ghost.
Yeah. And there's chupacabras.
And there's
apparently,
chupacabras. So she sleeps next to me. She is packed like she has no fucking clue what's going on in the world. And she has no pants with her. She is
She's
sleeping.
packed like it's summer.
She is sleeping in panties and a t-shirt with me.
Oh, God.
I was like, she froze her ass off. I have full on pajamas. I got up in the middle of the night and dug socks out of my suitcase. I was so cold.
Oh, my God.
And I know she was freezing her ass off. I'm
Poor
surprised she didn't try to spoon like the time you and I had to cuddle. We were so cold.
Sometimes you got to break down and cuddle.
You gotta do
man.
what you gotta do.
You do.
We went through war together, just like you and I did. So we had a really good time. We did a little bit of songwriting-ish, but not really. They were concentrating on a show they have upcoming and doing, so they were working on that more. And but we had a good time. It was fun.
Glad.
It was very low key. It wasn't a normal girls' weekend. That's not what the plan was. There's no swimming. There's no.
Yeah.
Oh, I go into town. So she has no clothes, right? So the next
Yeah.
morning we're like, we got to go to town and get you some fucking clothes. You have no pajamas. You have nothing warm. She only had tank tops.
She packed like it was a summer getaway.
Yes, that's what she said too. So we went to the dollar store.
What a goober.
We got matching, not on purpose. They only had one color and it was on sale. I don't know what you call these things, but you know, like those things that they sold a few years ago that were like the big thing you'd put over your snuggies.
Snuggie.
It wasn't a Snuggie officially, but it was like an off-brand Snuggie, and they only had it in bright red. It looks like Santa. It didn't get as cold the second night, so I didn't actually need mine, but I bought one and she bought one. And she wore that damn Snuggie the next 24 hours. We bought extra socks in case anyone else needed socks. Like we were just in general prepared.
That's good.
Anyways, we had a good time. It was just,
Did you tell me the stories that you sent me to
what were they? I forgot now.
Brandy and the chair?
No, I've already forgotten what the chair was. Son of a bitch. Brandy in the chair.
And then there was also Brandy and the rocks.
Yes. Okay. So Brandy, before she got, Brandy's like, I got some rocks for your mom. Because so anyone that listens to the podcast knows that my mom's grave out there, everyone, when you go somewhere, I just ask everybody, get my mom a rock and bring it from wherever you go. If you have a good day, a good time, a good vacation, whatever, grab a rock, bring it. Let's throw it on my mom's grave. I want her to live through us, you know? So Brandy tells me about a week and a half, 2 weeks before we go, she says, I went to this little hole-in-the-wall bar. I go in there. She's with JD, her significant other. And this old man comes up to her, and he was like, you want a rock? You look like a girl that might want a rock. And she was like, I love rocks. Because who doesn't?
Yeah.
And he was like, great. And he pulled out a Ziploc baggie with like 6 rocks in it, give or take. And he was like, which one do you want? You get to pick any rock you want. So she's looking through the rocks. And I'm not going to lie, I've seen the rocks. They're cool. And so he's telling her what each rock is. Like, this is petrified wood. This is this. This is that. She was like, oh my God. So she picks one. She goes, this is awesome because, and she tells the story about my mom's grave and how we collect rocks. And he was like, what? I want you to take all the rocks. Take the whole bag.
Aww.
So she did, right? So she gave me this really cool, they're amazing rocks.
That's awesome.
And I know other people don't understand this.
We love rocks, okay?
But I really love rocks, y'all. And so in the middle,
shells.
yes. And so in the middle of the weekend, I'm like, let's go. She was staying with Erica and them, and I took my sister-in-law and her son up to the cemetery to drop the rocks off. So we get there to drop the rocks off. We walk into the cemetery. This cemetery is old as hell. And as you know, and I have 5 generations of my family there, I believe it is. And and it's a very small cemetery that you have to drive through a private ranch to get to. Like, you're not in the city. As soon as we park, I look, and there's not even a parking lot. You're in a field.
Yeah.
A park, I look, I'm like, there's a new headstone. I don't know that headstone. It's huge. It's like, that's weird. This doesn't belong here. So I get in and I look. It's not a headstone. It's a historical marker to explain a smaller historical marker that's next to it. So there is now a small historical marker that looks like a small headstone next to a very large historical marker that explains the small one that looks like a headstone. They both look like headstones, just big and small. And it's like, it makes no sense. It's like, this used to be 22 miles whatever west of here in wherever, and it's for the whatever, and it's explained, and it makes no sense. And I'm like, why would they move a historical marker from where an event happened to this cemetery and then put up a marker to explain
Why they moved it?
the marker used? They didn't explain why,
Oh, just
that it used to be somewhere else, and so I couldn't figure it out.
We have to investigate.
So we talked about it. We all looked at it, and then we go walk, and I make them pull weeds out of my family cemetery. And then we leave there, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it. And so when I get home, I Google it. And I'm like, I want to know what's up with this. And it was said like McMillan Infantry or something along those lines. And the cemetery is McMillan Cemetery, which in my head always meant it was the McMillan family, because I assumed that was McMillan Ranch we're on. It's right next to the ranch my family was on. No, I learned something completely new when I Googled this.
Huh.
Okay, so McMillan Cemetery is after the town McMillan, Texas, that used to exist where the cemetery is. There used to be a town right there.
Really?
I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Is that not crazy?
Yeah, because you would not think that there was a town right there.
There is no evidence of that. And McMillan Cemetery, I mean, this is, 150 plus years ago. So McMillan Cemetery was a McMillan town, and it's named after a OG original Texas Ranger, which explains why there's 1 or 2 Texas Rangers buried there.
Yeah.
And his name was McMillan, and he had an infantry that fought for like in the Texas-Mexican War or something like that. And it's named after him and the infantry. And the thing, the little monument thing, is about the McMillan infantry.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is crazy. So I Google a little bit more. And then they go into it, and they're like, McMillan town. They're talking about the town and blah, 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 blah. And how they built their first schoolhouse in 1835 or whatever it was. And that a few years later, they built their second one, and it was built by a prominent businessman in McMillan, Hugh Miller. That's my great-great-great-grandfather.
Wow.
So it all came together. I was like, this is crazy. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know I was like, I didn't know any of this.
That's cool.
So I learned something new on my little trip to San
It's
Saba.
always fun to learn more about your history.
It is. And then I take Brandy in town. We go to Dollar Store to get her some clothes. She also picked out some leopard Peg Bundy leggings to be warm in. And then we leave there and we go to downtown, and we're going to walk downtown and look at the stores downtown before Erica and them get there. And we make about 10 steps, and my stepdad drives up to the light we're at, the only light in town. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? So I visited with my stepdad.
Small world.
And then we went back and we had a good weekend. That's my weekend. That was all there was
I'm
to it.
glad you had a good weekend.
But tell me about your weekend, because it was your birthday weekend.
It was, and I had such a good weekend. I really did. Honestly, I didn't do a lot for my birthday because this year I decided, even though I do kind of celebrate a little bit throughout the entire month, I decided that actually on my birthday, I didn't want to have because I usually have like a big dinner with my friends and then go out and all that. And I wasn't opposed to that, but you were out of town. Mary Lee was out of town.
I'm sorry.
So that's two of my biggest friends that weren't going to be there. So I didn't want to do something without y'all.
Yeah, so we get to progress your birthday month longer.
Even I get it. Right.
I mean, we have to
twist my arm. Why
yeah,
don't you?
for real. Yeah.
But I knew I was going to be off Friday, so because I took off for my birthday, even though I didn't know if I was going to do anything. Because technically, I'd already gotten my birthday tattoo before. I already got a tattoo for this month. But Dante always, for my birthday, he always gives me money for a tattoo. And so I was like, this is a funny story. So he had asked me, when he came in, he's like, babe, how much money do you need for your birthday tattoo? And I was like, well, how much money will you give me? And he's like, oh, no, we're not playing this game. You need to tell me how much money you need. I was like, well, most of my tattoos that I've been getting recently are about $200, $250. Well, first I started off 200. He's like, 200, that's fine. I was like, but, I want to tip her as well. And I think I'm thinking about getting a little bit bigger piece. So maybe 250. He said, okay, I can do that. He's like, I thought you were going to say like $500. I was like, I could have got $500.
Yeah.
He's like, see, that's why we were playing this game. I was like,
Dante
man,
is brilliant.
He is getting too smart for his own
He's
good.
figuring you out. Yeah.
But I was like, no, I was happy with that. So that's fine. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I will just get a tattoo on my birthday anyways. And so I messaged my tattoo artist that I've been working with here recently, Patience. She is at Tattoo Guru here in Waxahachie, and she is amazing. She is my new favorite, and I plan on going to her until either she's just like, I don't want to tattoo you anymore, or I find something that she just doesn't want to do. Because she's still in her apprenticing phase.
And she's the one that did my
I
jambalaya tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's amazing. I think she's just only been in a shop, though, for like 2 years. But she's been tattooing for longer than that. But she's absolutely amazing. But I asked her if she was free. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, what do you want? So I sent her a picture of what I wanted, which is a fallen angel. Like it's an angel that's falling. Okay. But the reference photo I had for her was a male angel. And so I told her, I want this. I like the look of it, the position of it. I just want it to be a female. And so she's like, okay. Then she's like, where do you want it? I was like, well, originally I wanted it on like my upper torso like area. And she's like, okay. She's like, I just want to be transparent with you though. I'm not very I haven't really done that before. Like that's a hard area. It's hard to get like smooth lines there and everything like that. I just want to be upfront with you, if you want to go
That's awesome.
with a
She's doing that.
Yeah, with a different artist. And I was like, I appreciate that, but I have complete faith in you. I said, so if it's something that you want to challenge yourself and take it on, I would be happy to let you do it because I trust you. And so she's like, okay, awesome, let's do it. And so originally I was going to get it about like the size of my hand, palm size or hand size. And she had drawn it up for me, and she did an amazing job. I will share a picture. I've shared a picture on my Instagram, but I will share another one, and I'll maybe post one on the podcast Instagram. And when I got there, though, she's like, I really kind of want to go bigger, though. She's like, I want to get really good detail. So are you okay with going bigger? And I was like, yeah, I'm always fine with going bigger. So it is rather large. But she did such a good job. But that area is so hard because, first of all, you don't think about, they have to be on you, like on your stomach and on your chest.
Yeah.
And so
you don't like
you're
being
thinking,
touched.
and
It's a good thing it was a woman.
Yeah. I'm thinking about breathing, though. Like, you have to breathe. And anytime you breathe, you're moving.
Yeah.
You can't help not to move. When it's an area like your arm or your leg, okay, your breathing isn't going to affect that as much.
Right.
But there's no way you can get around it when they're literally on your torso. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to just like breathe as easily and smoothly as I can. And also, it's a very sensitive area. I will put that up there. It's definitely in my top 3 of most painful tattoos. But we got through it. She did an amazing job. It took a couple of hours, and we just did the line work. Now, I wanted to do shading and everything as well. But after sitting through all the line work, we decided that we were just going to let that heal, and we'd come back for
How
another
long did you
session.
sit there for the line work?
I think it was about 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. So Yeah, and just, man, it's so tender right there. And I have one tattoo that is in the area, but that was literally my second tattoo I ever got in my life. So I don't really remember the pain from that. It's been
Right.
so long. So this, it was definitely a struggle for me. But of course I didn't move. I'm not a flincher or a mover or a whiner. You're not going to get anything out of me no matter how bad it hurts. So she's like, oh my gosh, you are so good. You're sitting like a rock. You are a champ. And I'm like, I'm glad it's coming out that way because this is horrible.
But, like when she did my foot, it hurt really bad. And so I put my other foot over the end of my foot to hold my foot still because I was naturally jerking.
Yeah.
Because anytime someone kind of hurt you. But what I'm saying that is she was going deep.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because otherwise, your foot will fade. It's like your finger. Like our finger, we've had not because the tattoo artist did anything wrong on her finger. She warned us too. This is going to fade. You're going to have to come back.
Yeah.
But with my foot, I was like, I want to come back as little as possible. So I just put my foot on my other foot to hold it down. Your chest, there's no way to hold that down.
No, it was not the most fun, but it was definitely worth it because I absolutely love the tattoo. Not looking forward to the second session though. I'm glad. I was like, how long do you think we are going to be waiting? She's like, probably about a month. Probably want to wait a month to let it heal up. I was like, okay, I got a month before I have to put myself through this again.
Oh, okay.
But I was happy because, Dante gave me my tattoo for my birthday. So I got another tattoo this month. So that's cool. I was very happy about that. And then, I didn't do anything else the rest of the day. After I got done with my tattoo, I went and saw you before you left. And then I went home. Actually, I went and got me Chinese food because I never get Chinese food now because Dante hates Chinese food. His kids don't eat Chinese food. So the only time I get Chinese food is when I go get it for myself or if I happen to go out with my family or something like that. But hardly get Chinese food anymore. So I went and got Chinese food for myself. So that was my birthday present to myself. And then I went with my family. We had my family dinner at Razoo's on Saturday. So I got to see all my family. My sister was there and her husband and their 2 kids and my older brother and his wife were there. And my mom and my dad and my 2 younger brothers. And it was
when y'all have as many
everybody.
siblings as you have, we go together every month for a birthday like this?
No. So we don't all get together for birthdays all the time. Really, we get together in March because me and my brother's birthday are a week apart.
That's right, yeah.
So we usually celebrate together. But they had gone out. My mom and my dad, I think, took my brother out for his birthday, on his birthday. Oh, okay. But we all got together for my birthday, and I was like, that's because I'm the most special.
Yeah. You sound like my little sister right now.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
I was the original baby.
You were the OG.
OG baby right here.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going to get everybody together for my birthday. And when you pick your mom's favorite restaurant to have your birthday dinner at.
So smart.
It kind of works out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And it was so funny because we got there, and me and Dante were the first ones in, and we were waiting on my mom and dad and my little brothers. And my mom had told me that my little brother Ashton wanted to get me a present for my birthday. He wanted to get me a stuffy because me and him both have a great love for stuffies, for stuffed animals. And I always take one of my stuffed animals when I go to their house to spend the night. And the last time that I went, I forgot my stuffed animal. And I was really sad because I was like, oh, I didn't bring my stuffed animal. But then I went in to go, because I have my own little room there to go to sleep. And my little brother brought me in one of his favorite stuffed animals to sleep with. He's so sweet. I love my little brother. And so he told my mom, I want to go get Kelly a stuffy for her birthday. And so she's like, all right. So she sent him with my dad to the store to get me a stuffed animal. And of course, he got me this huge squishmallow, and I was.
So Dante has no space left at all. He was already having a problem.
It was so funny because he saw Ashton walking in before I did.
He was like, hell no.
And he was like, oh my gosh, look what they got you. And Ashton walks in with it. I was like, yay! And I looked over at Dante and said, you're a daddy again. He just shook his head. He was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Well, that's good. Sounds like you had a good birthday.
It was amazing. I had
Well,
so
it's
much
not
fun.
done because we need a girl night dinner.
It is
thing.
not done yet. Also, I'm having our sibling sleepover is on Friday. I'm off on this Friday too for Good Friday, and we're having a sibling sleepover over at my brother's house. So
How
me
fun is
and
that?
my brother and his wife. We have another brother. He's not an adopted brother, but we grew up with him, so he is my brother, and
Yeah.
his name's Joseph. I don't know if I've even talked about him on here, but he's going as well.
That is awesome.
And I haven't seen him in a while, so I'm really excited about that. And we even invited my sister. And it was funny because my brother was like, hey, should we invite Amy? But she has, kids.
Yeah, she's a girl.
But he's like, I know that she probably won't be able to come, but we should still invite her. I was like, yeah. So we invited my sister too. And she said that she would try to see if she could come, but I don't really see that happening because her little girl is attached to her hip. So
Yeah, no kids allowed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, we had to amend it to an adult sibling sleepover because Ashton doesn't get to go.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
I was like, we'll do another
you grow up, you
sibling
can come.
thing.
Yeah, when you grow up.
you got to wait for it. Some things you just got to wait to be old enough to be a part of, But I'm looking forward to that. And I was thinking, I'm off on Friday. I could probably sneak in another tattoo as well.
You're out of control, Kelly. You're going for that once a month thing.
I know, but
Like you're gonna have 12 new tattoos by the end of this year.
I already have 10.
Since the beginning of the year?
Yes. And a lot of them are small. So one of them, when I went to get little filler tattoos. So technically,
that's right,
I don't
yeah.
really count all of those as one, but I got 4 little filler tattoos at one time. So, and then I went back and got another one with Mary Lee because she didn't get to go with me. So we got little friendship tattoos.
Yeah.
And then I got my, and then what was the other one I got? I see. I can't remember.
You got the. I don't know if this is the one
I got
you
my
do.
potion bottle.
Okay,
I got my potion
and
bottle.
you got the one with the time thing. That's not what you're calling it, but I can see it in my head. Never mind.
And then I've got this big one, and so it's a lot. It's already way more than one. But
Yeah, you're out of control.
last month, I think I got 3. So it's just like I'm not.
It's
I'm
only
not doing
March.
it. Sorry.
You've gotten 10. I told you 12 was a lot for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good. Do what you want to do.
I've gotten 10 so far this year. So
How many did you get last year?
none.
Okay, there you go. You're just making up. You're just evening it out.
Really, I am.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Anyways,
Anything else on the catching up we've not caught up with?
no, I think we're pretty caught up.
Perfect.
Zeta, you know what time it is?
What time is it, Kelly?
It's time to pop the top
On the topic of the day.
All right, so the topic of today is we're going to be talking about different habits that you can start to form that will help you to reduce your stress and anxiety. Because if you're anything like me, you got a lot of both of those things. And whenever you get anxious or stressed out about something, you get adrenaline and cortisol in your body. It's just a natural reaction to any kind of stress. So you have to be able to burn those off, and that is what helps reduce your stress and reduce your anxiety. If you don't find a way to burn those off, then the anxiety and everything lasts longer. It can lead to panic attacks and those kinds of things. So I have been forming a list, even though I already try to do things that help with my mental health. Sometimes it helps for me to actually list some things out, list some possibilities out that I can work with. Now, maybe not all of them I'll actually do, but having more options is easier for me than to stress, just to be like, oh man, I didn't work out or didn't do this, so I'm not gonna be able to do, But having more options really helps. So obviously, one of the biggest ways and easiest ways, well, maybe not easiest, is exercise. Any kind of exercise that you can do can physically help you to work off that adrenaline and the cortisol that is in your body because you're stressed out. So working out also releases endorphins, and endorphins help to improve your mood. So one of the things that is good for you to be able to do, even if you're only going for a walk or just getting up and pacing, that's why some people pace, is because it naturally helps their body to calm down. So anything that you can do that can move your body, stretching, yoga, anything like that is going to help out in that. I've been trying to start working out more. And now that I'm released from my foot, I've been going to Hot Works, and that's been
Yeah, we were supposed to
Really
do this,
awesome.
by the way.
yeah.
Okay, write that down. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
supposed to be going to Hot Works.
No, I
with me.
want to.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking about it nonstop. Like, we're doing this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we definitely need to. And it's been going great. I really enjoy it. And I can just tell having that, getting back into that routine and having, even if I only do like maybe a 15-minute class a day, that's something that's helping me get back into that routine. And I just feel better because I'm moving my body more, and I'm not I can tell that I'm sleeping better, that it's easier.
Stretching makes a huge
it's easier for
difference.
me to do things throughout the day. I have back pain, so it's like, it makes that a lot easier too, because I'm actually working those muscles out. So that's another really good thing. Another one is your morning routine, because your morning routine sets pretty much your day. So if you wake up and you're stressed because you're having to get all this stuff done, then you're automatically starting your day off at a stress, incline there. So having a more like relaxed routine, or just having a set routine, can help to reduce the stress and anxiety of starting your day off, because you want to be able to start your day off on a positive note. So anything that you can do to lower the stress.
Do you do things like, I don't know if you do this based on, no, I probably know the answer to this, but like, do you have like a thing that you do every day? Like, do you have kind of a program you do things like every morning you get up and you do this first and you do that first?
Yeah.
You do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. And I try to stick to that as well.
Yeah.
And another thing that I do, but this is kind of catch-22, because I like to, if there's anything that I haven't done from the night before, like if I need to switch out laundry or switch out, the dishes in the dishwasher, make sure there's not dishes in the sink and stuff like that. I like to do that because that helps me when I come home. I don't have dishes in the sink, or I don't have stuff that I have to, that like I'm like in the way that I'm like, oh, I want to go ahead and get this done with. But then also there's mornings that I don't want to stress about cleaning. So it kind of has to go by like, what I can deal with that day.
Right.
But I've been working on my morning routine, making sure that I try to get up at the same time, because I don't have to be at work early in the morning. So I try to keep myself from just like, staying in bed or sleeping in too long.
Yeah, wasting your morning.
So actually getting up, I let myself sleep in a little bit, but then actually get up, get going, start moving.
Like, I get where rest is important and rest makes you feel better, but I also personally, and I've learned this in life, is that knowing things are taken care of gives me more of a sense of relief than sleeping in. Like, I feel more relaxed knowing things are done.
Yeah.
So like years ago, I had a good friend, Teresa, who was 10 years older than me. I've talked about her before. She was 10 years older than me that I made friends in Houston. And she told me one time, she said, as long as my kitchen sink is clean. And I mean, she meant wipe down everything, like completely clean. No water, whatever. She was like, as long as it's clean, the rest of the house is fixable. But if the kitchen sink is a problem, it affects me being able to do anything else in the house. And I think it might not be the kitchen sink. It might be the laundry. It might be the floor. It might be, whatever. But I feel like once you figure out that one key item and you just maintain that one item, it makes the rest fall into place.
Yeah.
That's just my personal experience.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And the
for sure.
kitchen sink is my thing.
Yeah, it's my thing too. And
my
I think I got that from my mom, because my mom is that way. She cannot go to bed with the dishes in the sink. Like, they have to be cleaned and put in the dishwasher. The kitchen has to be wiped down. The kitchen's got to be clean before she's able to go to bed and relax. And so that was ingrained in my head, because it was one of the things that I wanted to try and help her out with, to try and take some, pressure off of her. And so that's automatically where my brain goes whenever there are dishes in the sink, even though I know that it's not like I'm going to get in trouble because there's dishes in the sink now. Yeah. But I'm like, I got to get those dishes done.
But it does affect your mental health.
It does, because
Right.
it's
And
there.
anxiety.
It's there, and that's the way my brain is programmed now. So even though it's not necessarily something that I would want to have to deal with, if my brain's going to react that way anyways, you might as well just go ahead and get it done so that you're not worried about it, and it's not in the back of your mind nagging at you.
Yeah.
The next thing I have on here is social media, because social media is, I know, an outlet for a lot of people, and it is something that a lot of people are somewhat addicted to. But whenever you let social media control you and the things that you see on it, and that's one of the reasons that I stepped away from social media, is because you can't really control what you are being exposed to. And especially with kids and younger kids, like even when you have like parental controls and whatever you think that you have on there, your kids are being exposed to all kinds of things.
Yep.
And so are you, though. Like you're seeing all kinds of things that even you might not even realize it, that they can affect you in a positive way or in a negative way. And then also how much time you're spending on your screen time does make a difference in your mental health.
Yeah.
So being able to find a healthy, routine, I consider that another routine thing. Like I'm not going to spend time on my phone unless it's a time during the day that I've allotted that time. So usually I let myself have a little bit of time in the morning because I get my schedule together. I look to see what I'm going to be doing that day anyway. So I'm on my phone. So I let myself have a little bit of time and play my little Monopoly game. But then I put that away. I'm not going to be playing my game. I'm not going to get on social media until later on in the evening so that I don't develop too much of a want or a need for it. So that's another thing is to look out for is your social media intake. Another one would be time management. And this one is not my strong suit, but it's definitely another important thing is because you can have all of these, tips and tricks in place, but if you can't manage your time enough to actually be able to do any of them, then it's not going to help out at all. So managing your time to what are the most important things that you have to do, like eating and exercising or, doing your, household chores, going to work, taking care of your kids, whatever it is that you have to do, but also managing enough time, quality time for yourself that you're taking care of your own needs. So exercising, your outside time,
Right.
That kind of thing.
Time management to me is life-changing because I sucked at it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I can manage some time. It makes a huge difference on your mental health.
It
Like
does.
when you're not always chasing something. Yeah.
It really does.
I think that's a huge part.
Another thing that I've noticed that really helps for me is being able to have outside time because a lot of my outside time is just in transit. So walking from one place to another, like walking from the car inside or walking from inside to the car or going from this place to this place. It's just transit time. It's not actually quality time spent outside. So like I'm going outside to go for a walk or I'm going outside to go do work in the garden or I'm going outside to actually do something outside.
Right.
And I don't do enough of that. A lot of my outside time is just transit time. It's not actual like quality time spent outdoors. And that can make a really big impact on your mental health. Just being out in the sun makes a big impact on your mental health. You absorb, vitamins from the sun.
And I think a lot of times people get into a situation where their mental health is not right and they do everything they can to avoid the sun.
Yeah.
When they should be doing everything they can to put themselves in the sun.
Yes.
Maybe not for long stretches of time. We're not trying to burn you.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think it makes open your windows.
Yeah. Take
Open
your
your
shoes off.
curtains,
Take your shoes off and go walk in the grass.
Ground yourself with the earth.
Yes.
Like I'm a big proponent that sometimes you need to take your shoes off and put your feet in the dirt.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but until you do it, you don't notice the change.
Yeah.
You don't realize how significant that little thing can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm
That's a
really
good
big
one.
on that. I'm really big on that. Quality sleep. This one has been not so great for me lately. A lot of it is because just the excitement. Whenever I'm excited or whenever something is happening the next day, it doesn't even have to be a really exciting thing.
Yeah, but
when
you can't turn off the thoughts.
I cannot. I'm one of those people that will lay in bed and I will think about every step of the process of tomorrow. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do this.
Which is exactly what anxiety is.
I'm going to wear this. I'm going to do this. I got to make sure I get this, this, and this to take with me. I got to do it is just a mental checklist and it never stops. I let myself just go ahead and go through it because I know I can't stop it. I know I have to just let it run its course sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I will. And then it starts over again.
Can I tell you something I learned this weekend?
What?
That has to do with that. So Brandy and I slept in the master bedroom at the cabin, right? So she said, do you care if I listen to, I I don't remember what she called it, affirmation. I don't know. Do you care if I listen to something for us to go to sleep? I was like, nah, I can sleep through anything. You're good. So she puts her phone on and she plays. It was someone famous. I don't know who, but she did tell me Matthew McConaughey does one. All kinds of famous people do this. I don't remember who it was we were listening to, but all kinds of famous people do this. And what they do is they're like literally talking to you so you can go to sleep so that you don't think about the things you shouldn't think about.
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty good about just falling asleep unless something's really going on, and then I'm screwed. Like I got 2 hours where I can't turn it off. Mm-hmm. And so this was like some famous person, whoever, it doesn't have to be famous, but Matthew McConaughey's voice is pretty
I'll
relaxing.
let him talk to me while I'm going to sleep.
And so it's basically like, hey, the world's good. We're going to go to sleep. We're going to relax. We're not going to think about things.
Everything's going to be okay.
Everything's good. And then they just kind of like talk without talking about anything. So that your mind doesn't like go into like, okay, what would I do in this? Like there's not a story.
Yeah.
It's just talking about how you're relaxed and things are good. I fell right the fuck to sleep. Now, was I tired? Yes. But I thought that's really cool. She said she goes to sleep with that every night so that she doesn't think about other things.
That's cool.
Yeah. I didn't even know that existed. So
See,
there's a thought.
Yeah, I could try that. I've tried going to bed to like my audiobooks and stuff before too, and sometimes that helps. Sometimes I just get too wrapped up in it, and
well, that's just it.
Yeah.
It doesn't let you get wrapped in because there's no actual story.
Yeah, I might need to try that out.
So I will have her send you one
Okay.
because I was like, that is freaking awesome.
I don't know if Dante will like me listening to Matthew McConaughey as we're going to sleep, but maybe. Who
there's
knows?
There's other people. You can pick somebody
It's like,
else.
really, Matthew McConaughey for the 4th time this week?
Yeah. All right. That's pretty funny. But yeah, so she does that. And she said, Zeta, I just like, is Zeta going to be able to sleep? And the next thing I know, I don't snore necessarily, but because you've slept next to me a million times. I do occasionally, like just a little noise. And she said, I was thinking, poor Zeta's having to listen to this. And then I heard, I was out.
Oh, never mind. She's good. It worked.
No worries.
The next one that I wrote down on my list is regaining self-control and practicing saying no to things. This one is a hard thing for me because I don't like to say no to people. I don't like to, Yeah,
you're a pleaser. You're a people pleaser.
I am. But being able, I have been practicing saying no. This is something that I have been practicing, been trying to do better of actually most of this year. But I have to remind myself of it. That's why I wrote it down on this list, because even though it's something that I've already thought about and I've been working on doing, just kind of like reiterating that to myself as it's okay to say no to things. You do not have to, pull everybody out of everything. Everything does not have to be on your shoulders. You do not have to go out and do that if you don't want to do it. You do not have to fill in for this person if you don't want to. You do not have to go to this thing if you don't want to do it.
That is such a good life lesson because that also had me. In my 20s, I was a people pleaser and I was making everybody happy. Zeta in her 40s is, I'm sorry if you don't like it, suck it up. But it took a long time to get here.
Yeah.
And don't people please.
No.
Like take care of your people, but you don't have to please them.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been really trying to work on, a good balance of doing what I can, because it is good to help. So I do want to be a helper. But I do not want to be doing everything just because people are asking me to. I want to do it because I feel led to do it. I feel somewhat like, okay, I want to do this and I want to help. That's great. But if it's not something you feel like you can mentally deal with or should have to deal with,
you don't have to do it.
Then just simply say, I'm sorry, but no, I can't.
And if somebody is truly your friend or someone that cares about you, they're going to understand that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And they'll go on to the next person.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's times I just have too much on my plate, and I've had to tell you, I just can't do it. I just got too much on my plate.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't do it. Yeah. And that's because I'm no longer a people pleaser. Like, I have to sometimes say no.
And honestly,
it's really hard.
I really like it when you do. I really like it when people do, because that's just another reminder to me of how normal this should be. It should be a normal thing for you to cancel plans. It should be a normal and fine thing for you to be like, you know what, I just can't be on the worship team this Sunday.
Yeah.
I just can't make this retreat. I just can't do this thing. I'm sorry, but not this time. I can't do it.
Like we talked about possibly not doing the podcast this week and taking a break because your birthday and the girls' weekend and all this stuff was going on. So we didn't get to it in our normal time frame. And weekdays are hard for us because we have opposite schedules. And I get up at the crack of dawn and I go to bed before the sun goes down half the time. And I have a family. And there's things for my family that I like to do. And that is making dinner. And that is sitting at the dinner table with them.
Yep.
That is something that is important to me. And it is hard for me to sometimes get away from that. Like and so we were able to do it today, but I can't always do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you never
And if we weren't going to be able to do it tonight, it would have been totally fine not doing it.
Right.
And that's the mindset I want to have. Like this is very important to me, but when it comes down to it, if it can't happen, I'm not going to stress about it.
And I think that's part of being a good friend is when you understand that just because that week it's convenient for you and it's important to you doesn't mean that it works for the other person.
Yeah.
And I just think as a good friend, we have to understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is my other one is your friends and how they support you. And being a supportive friend can really help with anxiety and stress. How you are communicating with your friends can help their stress and anxiety, or it can hurt their stress and anxiety and yours as well. And how they are reacting to you as well. Because there's some people, if I know that I feel like they're going to stress me out in a situation, or that I can't really talk to them about this because I feel like it's just going to stress me out more, I won't. Like, I'm not going to open up to you. I'm not going to tell you what's going on.
Because you don't owe anybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to do this. So having friends that you know that you can share things with, or are going to understand what you're going through, even if you don't explain it to them. Like you can just be like, dude, I'm off. I'm having a hard time. I can't deal with this right now. And they just accept it and understand it, and no questions asked.
Right.
Like, I'm here if you need to talk to me, but if you don't need to talk to me,
Also okay.
also fine.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
It does make a huge difference. And so as friends, we have to make sure that we're doing the best we can to be good friends, to understand that we're not trying to add stress onto our friends. Like there shouldn't be, like granted, you have to have friends that are good friends, but there shouldn't be rules on a friendship. Like if you have to go 3 months where you can't give me any time, I have to understand. Because life happens. But a good friend will be there in 3 months. Now, if you go 6 years, that might be a little weird. But do I have friends I don't see for 6 years? Sometimes we'll still reach out, and that's fine too. That's where we are. That level of friendship makes a difference. But I just don't believe in putting additional stress on people.
Yeah.
Because I need something, unless it's super important. And if it's super important, I probably don't have to tell them. They'll know.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Or they'll realize this is a time that it's super important.
Yeah,
and I'm going to step up because I want to, not even because they're asking me to, but because I want to. I want to be able to be there for them. So yeah, it makes a big difference. So that's all that I had for the stress and anxiety helpers. Also another big one for me is obviously my tattoos. They've been helping a lot.
I think with stress for me, or anxiety, what helps me is to talk to people, but like not overly, because I'm not, even though I like to talk a lot, I don't like to talk about feelings a lot. So there's maybe 5 people I'm going to trust at different times in my life, just sit down and talk. But being able to have that person that even if I just call them, tell them one little thing, whatever the case is. The other thing is stretching.
Yeah. Stretching's one of my
I find that a
favorites.
lot of my stress is in my body, and stretching makes a huge difference.
It really is. It really does. I mean, that's where your stress lives. Most of it. I mean, it's literally a physical thing as much as it is a mental thing. And so, only trying to deal with it, talking about it, or working it out in your head isn't always going to take it away. You might even come to a resolution in your head or in the situation, but your body is still stressed.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out what the other yin to your yang is that you're having to do for your body and not just your mind.
Yeah. There's more to it than what's in your head. It's about how you feel. And so, like, have I had a chance to work out so much lately? No, I haven't. But I will tell you, I stretch like you have never fucking seen. And I'll even lay in bed and stretch in bed. And Rick said, what are you doing? I'm stretching, because it looks weird when you're laying in bed, but it feels good. So I do believe that. And at my work, every morning when I get to work, because I work in the construction industry and there are guys working in the warehouse and that kind of stuff, they have to stretch. It's a safety thing. They have to stretch before work. So every employee in the building has to stretch before work except me because I run the building, like I run their office while they're doing this. So there's not really an opportunity. They would let me. I don't want to stretch in front of all men.
Like, I'm good, thanks.
But I told my boss one time, do you want us to work it out so you can? I was like, you do not understand. I have stretched for 20 minutes before I walked into the bathroom this morning. I have to be able to walk. So we're good.
Try to oil up the engines.
Yes. Well, I think that's a good conversation.
Thanks.
I would like to say that a little precursor to next week, because a lot of the stress in my life has been related to autism. Not that it's all stressful, but, I have 2 autistic kids. So next month, starting next week, we're going to delve into a little bit of autism awareness. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what I've learned about stress and stress management and anxiety management, I have learned from having an autistic kid. So I think that we're going to have a lot more conversation about this in the next month.
Yeah.
Because anxiety, I never had anxiety until I had my 3rd child. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, I never had it. It just didn't realize what it was. I mean, it just didn't affect me the way it maybe affects some other people. Now I have anxiety attacks. Like, it's changed everything about me. But it's also changed. I've learned so much from my daughter and from what I've learned about autism because of my daughter, that I'm hoping that we can bring a little bit more to the table with those conversations.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it.
So that's coming next month. We're going to have kind of an autism awareness month with other things, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that was a good precursor because it's so connected. Because
Oh, yes.
it's so connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else we got on your...
We're good.
Yeah. It's getting a little loud next door. You know, we record at Down the Hatch, Al's Bar and Restaurant. Mm-hmm. We had to be a little bit later today. And karaoke's now going on across the hall, and that's all I can hear now.
I know, that's all I'm listening. I'm like, who's singing right now? What are they singing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's loud.
Yeah.
And Al just sprung on me. I recorded with Al first and now here, like back to back. And Al sprung on me that he has leased out our studio and that we are moving somewhere and we don't know where. So we'll find out soon and we'll have a new update.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Maybe come back next week and bring a friend.
Yeah. And remember, there's always 3 sides to every story.
2 sides and the truth.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.